and welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Tomcat, I believe it's Irish Tomcat 137. Well, that's the question. Who wins in a fight? Genos from One Punch Man versus Tex from Red vs. Blue. Now, I'm not a big Red vs. Blue guy, not because I dislike it, because I just never got into it. But I have seen enough of Death Battle when they did the Red versus team, the Blue team versus the Red team, as well as looked up Tex to at least give a general analysis of Tex. And Tex is one of the more accomplished members of the Blue team. I believe Tex is a woman, too. She is a master marksman. She's mastered of pretty much every form of combat. The only problem Tex has is that she kind of can't always see things to completion. That doesn't mean she just straight out loses a fight because she won't finish. It's just something about, I think it's like a psychological issue with her. She's also, like many of the other Halo members, like enhanced physically, so she can still hit hard. And you might say, well, no, it's Red versus Blue. Yeah, it's in the Halo world. So they're all AI soldiers to whatever degree. AI soldiers. I mean, she has AI, but they're all kind of super soldiers to whatever degree. So she's extremely capable. In theory, has access to all the Halo weapons you could have. So we have to give her that as well. Genos obviously is the cyborg hero from One Punch Man. He is kind of armed to the teeth, no pun intended. I mean, even though his teeth aren't really armed, with a numerous amount of weaponry under his belt, from multiple blades to firing giant blasts of fire, to being able to reassemble his body parts if they've been broken off, provided that there's enough of them there. He's able to move at He's not as fast as Saitama, nor is he fast as I can't remember the ninja who basically was a hero, then went like rogue to try to beat Saitama. But he's not as fast as him, but he can still move at like hypersonic speeds if he needs to. He's durable enough to take some pretty solid hits as well, strong enough to break boulders and like solid walls of stone, concrete, whatever. And he's also capable of firing, as I said, blasts of fire. Not energy, but actual fire. I mean, it's kind of energy, but it's mostly like a blast of concentrated fire. And it's fueled by his core. Now, we know for a fact that he can use both his hands, use his core to fire a massive cannon blast from both his hands. This was strong enough to temporarily, for a brief moment, pause a descending meteor that was coming onto the town. Now, he ultimately, I believe it was Bang, that's his name, the older guy, the older fighter hero, who looked as like, oh, wait, nope, didn't do anything. But it did temporarily stop it. Like, yeah, Genos at least felt that it would have worked, or could have worked, and we saw it, did temporarily slow it down. So that's a lot of firepower Genos has under his belt. So who would win in a straight-out fight? Well, in terms of just raw hand-to-hand skill, Tex does have the edge there. Tex also does have arguably the armament advantage, as she does have all the Halo weapons under her belt. The problem is most of the Halo weapons Genos either isn't going to get hit by or can tank. He can tank any of the small arms fire, no problem. The rifles shouldn't be that big of an issue. The sniper rifle is pretty hefty. That could definitely damage him. The rocket launcher, the cannons, the sword, that could all do something. The grenades could be momentarily disruptive. But overall, he wouldn't be put down by many. The sword could put him down. But if it's just like swiping a limb off, he's just going to reattach it. Genos, however, while she has the skill edge, Genos, I think from what we've seen from One Punch Man, should have the physical edge overall. He should be overall way faster than her. Should hit with a lot more power on his punches, and he's just got legitimately more firepower. He literally has a fire blast capable of briefly stopping a meteor. A slow descending meteor, but a meteor nonetheless. So that was going to wipe out an entire city. Genos is not a city buster in his full power or anything like that, but he is at least on the level of a several city blocks level of power if he needed to. So these two would meet in a fight. Tex is probably a little confused on who Genos is. Same with Genos, but ultimately they say whatever. okay, time to fight, and they start fighting it out. Genos is immediately kind of overwhelmed by Tex's tactics, but Genos quickly starts to overwhelm Tex with his speed. Tex starts bringing out the weapons. Genos just blocks where he needs to, rushes in, maybe damages the armor. Although the armor is pretty tough, so that'd be debatable if he could do that with just his straight strength or a blade alone. But ultimately, it would come down to like their coup de grace, if you will, their final moves. Tex could have access to the rocket launcher, the bazooka, whatever, the laser cannon. I could see that the laser cannon and Genos getting into a beam struggle, but given the sheer magnitude of what Genos could throw at Tex, Genos would probably overwhelm the laser cannon and just engulf Tex. Now, that doesn't mean Tex is necessarily dead. When we do who would wins, it's not about if you kill the opponent, just if you can beat them. It's more just about if they are capable of being put down. And I think Tex, at minimum, would be just knocked out from the sheer force that was like thrown at her. Hansel, her armor would certainly be damaged, and maybe she's like, oh god, I can't move, and then Genos comes in and just knocks her out or whatever, or leaves. I do think Genos takes the overall edge here. He has just enough edges over her in physicality, and a couple of them are pretty extreme edges. We've seen just how fast Genos can really move. He moves way faster than most of the Halo characters or Red v Blue characters. And his strength, is pretty solid enough that probably does surpass most, again, of the Halo characters, at least on some level. But again, versatility and skill-wise, Tex has the edge there, as well as the level of weaponry she has. But at the same time, Genos still has the overall greater level of firepower when he absolutely has to use it. So I go Genos in this. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.